Hey gaming fans, so today's another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. This one's for the GOAT format, and it's Dark Necrofear. This is one I'm currently working on, so I thought I would just kind of show it off and see what your reactions are and what you would think should be changed or added or taken out. So, if you're not familiar with Dark Necrofear, he's a 2200 Fiend, level 8 I believe. When this card is normal summoned, or this card cannot be normal summoned or set, this card can only be special summoned by removing from play 3 Fiend monsters from your graveyard. If this card is destroyed by battle or by your opponent's card effect while it's in the monster zone, equip it to a monster on your opponent's side of the field during the end phase of the turn, and then take control of that monster. So essentially, when he gets destroyed, he turns into a snatch steal. So, I mean, he's got a 2200 body and 2800 defense, which is good. So what we got to focus on is getting the Fiends into the graveyard. Now, I know a lot of popular builds will use giant germs. And originally, yeah, I was going to go this direction, but I thought, let's try something different this time. Let's get away from the giant germs and try something new. So, to begin with, I'm going to play 3 Emissary of the Afterlife. So he's a Fiend, 1600. I showed this in my Aggro Exodia deck. When he's basically a Sandgan, but he searches out level 3 or lower normal monsters when he is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. So he also allows your opponent to do the same, but in most cases, I doubt people are going to be playing level 3 or less normal monsters. So for the targets, I put in 3 DD trainers. So this is a Fiend, again, 2000 defense, 100 attack, so horrible stats on the attack, but you're going to use him as a defender anyways. And he's a level 1, which is good for Metamorphosis. And, I mean, there's not much more to say about him. You're not really going to attack with him. For the rest of the Fiends, we're going to use 2 Night Assailants, because you're only allowed 2 in a deck. And this guy is, he pretty much destroys a monster on the field when he's flipped face up. And if he's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a flip effect monster. Or if he's sent from the graveyard to your hand, you get to add a flip effect monster. So we do have 2 Dark Mimics, which are flip effect monsters, and when they're flipped up, you draw a card. Also Fiends. And 2 Mask of Darkness, which are also Fiends, and add 1 trap to your hand from your graveyard to your hand when it's flipped up. So this will help you get some little bit of advantage, because you're going to want to get these Fiends in the graveyard fast to be able to summon your Dark Necrofear. And then because we're playing all those flip effects, I put in 1 Tsukiyumi. This one is when he's summoned, or she's summoned, you get to flip a monster face down, and then it returns to your hand because it's a spirit. And to get Tsukiyumi to your hand, we have 1 Sandgan, which is also a Fiend. So Tsukiyumi and I believe 1 other card are the only 2 cards in this deck, monsters in this deck, that are non-Fiends. So for more Fiends, we have Nudoria. This is going to help, control your opponent's board. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you could destroy 1 monster on the field. So he's also 1200. Not too bad. I mean, not the best, but you're usually just going to ram them into something and just get rid of it. So if they have, even if they have a Blackluster Soldier or a Chaos Sorcerer or whatever, you can just ram right into them and destroy the card. I mean, you can also set him and hope he doesn't get Nobleman. Then for a little bit more power, I put in a Dark Ruler Hades. Cannot be normal summoned or cannot be special summoned from the graveyard. Negate the effects of monsters destroyed by battle with Fiend type monsters you control. So that's really cool. I mean, he shuts down your opponent's flip effects and anything else that might trigger when it's destroyed. And to round things off, we have the 1 Breaker. He's just too good. I just threw him in there for extra, spell and trap removal. I was considering taking him out. I don't know. What do you think? I think most people do play a Breaker in their deck, no matter what deck it is. But, sometimes you could take him out. For the spells, we play 1 Pot of Greed, of course, 1 Graceful Charity. And in this build, I decided to go with Card Destruction instead of Delinquent Duo, because, again, we want to get the Fiends into the graveyard. It's going to activate your Night Assailants, so then you can grab your Dark Mimic or your Mask of Darkness to get a little bit more hand advantage. So I just felt that this card was more appropriate for that space. 1 Snatch Steal, self-explanatory, you're stealing monster. Premature Burial, you know, I was considering this one too, but there is a lot of targets like Sangan and your emissaries. You cannot bring back Dark Necrofear, I believe, and you cannot bring back your Dark Ruler Hades, which is a shame, but you know, you can bring back a few other. You could even bring back one of these flip guys if you have Tsukuyomi in your hand, just to flip them face down again. Also for Metamorphoses too, if you need to grab a level 1. So Metamorphoses for your fusion plays. I'm only going to play the, well, maybe, I don't know, I haven't built the fusion deck yet, but I'm assuming I'm going to be using a Mask of, what do you call them, Thousand Eyes Restrict, and probably a few other levels. Probably similar to what I was playing with my Exodia build. I think I had a few in there. And then Heavy Storm, just to blow up the back row. I decided to add in my body as a shield, because I'm thinking there's a lot of cards you're probably going to set face down, and your opponent will probably try Nobleman of Crossout. And I was trying to think of ways to handle Nobleman. Originally I was going to have the Spell Shield type 8s, but I thought my body as a shield might be a little bit better, because then even if you summon your, like say we go through the process of summoning some of these guys and you want them to survive, not die to a Torrential Tribute or something like that, because that would be a shame if they torrentialed, because then you would lose him and all the monsters would be gone, so you wouldn't even get his effect off. So I put 2 my bodies. I don't know, maybe I should bump that up to 3. Now for the traps. Same concept as my body. 2 compulsory evacuation devices. I think this could be used both ways. If you first turn set your Night Assailant or something like that, one of your flip effect monsters, or even if you happen to just draw into something like your DD Trainer or whatever, you could set it, and if your opponent tries to Nobleman, you got two compulsories in your deck that maybe could trigger and bounce the monster back to your hand. Torrential Tribute, again, you do want to control the field, and you are playing cards like Emissary, so if you first turn play Emissary, or whatever, second turn play Emissary, and then you got Torrential Tribute, you blow up the field, and then you get to search for your monster, so why not? The standard Mirror Force, Call It a Haunted. Again, I was contemplating on this one. I don't know if I want to keep it in here, because, you know, there isn't a whole lot of, like, really good targets for it, but, I mean, grabbing back a Nidoria or a Sangan could always be a good thing. Even if it's an end phase DD Trainer, so on your turn you turn him to defense mode, he's 2000 defense, kind of hard to get over in a lot of monsters. Then we're playing 3 Regeki Break. These are pretty much to, again, control the field and get those fiends out of your hand so you could summon your Dark Necrofear. Also, maybe your turn you draw 2 Dark Necrofears, you only need 1 in your hand. You could just pitch 1 to get rid of it, to use it for fodder for the other one. Or, you know, you got your Night Assailants, which you can pitch into the grave and recycle one of your other flip effect monsters. And, of course, the last trap is the Ring of Destruction. Pretty standard trap in almost every GOAT format deck. So this is what I got put together so far. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are, your comments. Like, I know a lot of you are going to be like, no, you got to play Giant Germ. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll change my mind. But anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.